So, Eternals dropped on Disney Plus, and I, of course, saw it in theaters, but I figured it would be a good time for a rewatch. I don't really pay attention to reviews and stuff when I first see a movie. I like to be fresh, but I see now that this seems like it's been the most controversial Marvel movie of all time. Just going on what I hear and the Rotten Tomatoes rating. And just talking strictly about quality, I really didn't get it. There are bad Marvel movies, guys. Ones that I just don't enjoy. Have you guys seen Iron Man 3? Incredible Hulk? Have you seen Thor: The Dark World? The worst thing that a superhero movie can do is be boring, and those movies, I don't want to watch them. Kind of like how I don't want to watch Bonanza with you, Mom. I don't want to hear about your weird thing for Little Joe. You know, now that I think about it, the Bonanza brothers really had the Kardashian thing down before the Kardashians. I mean, they have a pretty similar dynamic here. Anybody else's mom watch Bonanza? No? Just me? That's this week's movie, bringing you the hottest takes and most topical jokes. Anyway, I thought to myself, maybe Mother is right. Not about Bonanza, but about the fact that I'm always wrong. She's not far off. I thought the Bonanza would never end, but here we are watching MASH. So maybe I'm wrong about Eternals too. There are tons of reviews that hate this movie. So maybe it isn't good. I haven't seen it since I watched it in the theater, so let me give it another try. And let me tell you, I tried to not like this movie, but I do. I like it. Sorry, not sorry. And I know what you're thinking. And yes, I agree. It is very brave of me to say I liked a movie. Thank you. But if I may, I have another brave opinion. A Little Joe-sized opinion. How did this turn into a Bonanza-themed video? Literally no one is going to get this reference. Look, it might be a controversial opinion, but I did not care for the Snyder Cut. I thought it wasn't that much better than the original. It was just longer. Like, how long do these shots need to be? Sometimes brevity can be a good thing. How long does Jason Momoa need to walk down this dock? It feels like forever. He does look pretty good, though. Alright, this is pretty awesome. I'll give them that one. But as far as superhero ensemble movies, I think Eternals is better. And I think it's worth comparing because these two movies are pretty similar. I think that Icarus is a depowered version of Superman, which is good because Superman is too powerful. And Superman having girlfriend issues, and spoilers for Eternals from here on, obviously, him being a bad guy at the end is interesting. Why do you think we have so many alternate Superman stories? Because Superman isn't that interesting. Although I did like Man of Steel. I think Gilgamesh and Thena is a really great relationship that's way better than anything Wonder Woman had with Bruce. That's like supposed to be a romantic thing, maybe? I don't know, but Gilgamesh and Thena felt like a real emotionally intimate and caring relationship that didn't need to be romantic. And it felt way more meaningful than any clunky conversation Bruce and Diana had. And look, Eternals is by no means a perfect movie. I think the pacing is a little weird at times, and the alien villain stuff is pretty meh. But I definitely never found myself bored, which happened a few times watching the Snyder Cut. And I can't forget that Eternals had some of the coolest visuals I've seen in the MCU so far. The gold mechanical aspect of the Eternals was super visually appealing. Did it remind me of Gold Bicentennial Man for some reason? Yes, but still really cool. The Haversham stuff is really visually awesome as well. Haversham? Haversham.
Hey, Haversham. Yes, Alan? You have a dog? A little chow or something?
No, Helen.
My ability to pronounce his name aside, I really liked the dynamic between hands-off Space Dad and the Eternals. Despite saving the entire human race and killing his brothers, still not mad, but just disappointed. In my opinion, the Snyder Cut didn't have anything visually even close to something like this. But I think the most interesting comparison is the two speedsters, because everything else you could argue is apples to oranges, but those two, they are exactly the same. And Makkari is way better than Flash. I said it. This is before the Flash movie comes out, so maybe things will change. But as of now, from a moviegoer perspective, Makkari is the speedster I would rather watch. To understand my reasoning, we need to rewind to 2014. What a time that was. Kim and Kanye were on the cover of Vogue. Their love was surely to last forever. Shia had decided he wasn't famous anymore. It totally worked. How I Met Your Mother finally finished. Everyone loved that final episode. And of course, X-Men Days of Future Past arrived in theaters. Days of Future Past kills it with this amazing slow-mo Quicksilver scene. It's fresh, it's great, I love it. Hollywood had always struggled with speedsters, and this was a super cool way to satisfyingly visualize it. But here's the problem. That's all the Flash does now. It's like they watched that scene and said, that's how we're doing speedsters from now on. It's all slow-mo. And it got old. In the Snyder Cut, it's all Flash does. Slow-mo. Slow-mo. More slow-mo. It's not until the very end when we finally get him not in slow motion, which is cool, but it still has a kind of running in mud feel. But Makari feels real. She feels a lot like the all-time best speedster, Dash from The Incredibles. I'm not joking. I love Dash. The Incredibles has such a leg up when it comes to superpowers in that it's all 3D animated. They can basically do whatever they want. And so when Dash is running at top speed, we travel with him. He's going at breakneck speed and no one can catch him, and the feeling is absolutely euphoric, and we are experiencing what it's like with him. And it's awesome. It's one of my favorite scenes in Pixar, period. And Makari is a very similar thing. It makes you feel like she is really that fast, and the way the camera follows her, it isn't slowing things down, which would feel pretty unrealistic and overused at this point. Instead, it feels like we're running with her. She also uses her speed in ways that make sense when she fights, and it's so satisfying. Speedsters are always way underrated, and Makari shows how OP they really would be. Frankly, I've seen so many slow-mo speedster shots, I find Flash boring at this point, with the exception of maybe this one. This one's pretty good. Makari, on the other hand, is so much fun to watch. And that's really the biggest thing. I had fun watching Eternals. Watching Justice League felt like a chore. Like, I have to watch this because it's a better version of a movie I really didn't like. And I'll always rather go for something that's fun. It's by no means my favorite Marvel movie. It's really not even my favorite Marvel thing last year. In fact, it's low on the list, especially with WandaVision and Spider-Man so high for me. I'll talk about No Way Home soon, don't worry. But basically, this is just a long-winded way of saying I don't feel like the Eternals hate is justified. What do you think? Do you agree that Eternals was solid, or was it trash and I don't know what I'm talking about? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Give me a like, subscribe, if you like what you see, all that good stuff. But I gotta go. Bonanza's on again.